So most coaches, consultants, and agency owners that aren't growing as fast as they want to right now aren't failing because of their offer. Despite what your favorite guru is telling you, it's probably not because of your ads either. But the truth is, every business owner on YouTube is running some sort of funnel, whether they realize it or not. And every funnel has a handful of moments where your ideal clients are just one click away from walking away forever. And most business owners can't even tell you where those moments are. And after working with over 20 business owners on their YouTube channels and generating multi-six figures from YouTube, I've got a clear look at what the best channels are doing differently. They know exactly where those key moments are, and they engineer their entire YouTube funnel around those key moments, winning every single one. So in this video, I'm breaking down all 5 of those key decision points so that your viewers don't just watch once, they come again and again, and eventually they book a call and beg to work with you. And this all starts with how the best business YouTube channels are actually using their funnels. So the biggest mistake I see most people make on YouTube is disconnected funnels, and let me explain what I mean. So most business owners treat YouTube as separate pieces instead of one connected system, and it's costing them clients. And what I mean by this is keeping the messaging congruent and having each part of your funnel, meaning each part that the viewer sees, or aligning. So there's the video, the thumbnail, the script, the landing page that you actually send people to, the booking part, the booking form. Each part of these is optimized independently by a whole bunch of different people for this client. And the problem is when each part is like optimized independently and it has its own messaging, the viewer's journey is never designed as a whole, meaning you're not taking people along a clear path where they feel it's made for them. And this is why channels might get views but not get any clients. And this is what you want to avoid. So why disconnected funnels fail is the editor that you hired from Fiverr doesn't understand the strategy behind the content and what types of graphics and visuals they need to be showing to help push the viewer further down and trusting the video more. The thumbnail designer doesn't understand the script or the messaging. They don't understand the offer. They don't understand the ICP. And the landing page is completely like disconnected from the video. So sometimes you'll send people to a landing page that was optimized for cold traffic. Instead, you should have a separate landing page sometimes for specifically the YouTube funnel, knowing what type of person is coming from the YouTube videos, because that is how you create a messaging system and a funnel where everything is aligned. So if that journey that you're sending a viewer from isn't engineered, viewers drop off at random points and you never even know why. So the result, confusion instead of a guided path. So there are 5 decisions every viewer makes. And before becoming a client, every viewer goes through these micro decisions. And the channels who are booking a lot of calls and then closing a lot of deals, they engineer every piece of content to win each one. So I'm going to walk you through each of these. But a brief overview: do I trust this person enough to click on their video? Is this content actually for me? Should I take action now or come back later? Was this worth my time? And then lastly, should I go deeper and reach out? So the people who are really winning on YouTube, they're not just guessing, they're engineering every decision point deliberately. And if you look at people like Iman Gaji, who really set the standard for having a YouTube funnel and what you can achieve and showed us what's possible, you'll know the amount of detail and the amount of strategy and thinking that goes into creating a system and a strategy for content that actually works. And it's not as simple as chucking up some videos and hoping someone books a call. You need to be thinking exactly about your ICP and engineering a system to allow them to reach out. So decision 1, do I trust this person enough to win the click? And this happens before a video even starts. If you lose this moment, nothing else matters. So this applies to the thumbnail and the title. So on the thumbnail, if you show a real result, a real client, whatever it is, something that is actually going to build trust, that's going to help. If you show generic visuals that destroy trust before the video even plays, that's not good. And that comes down to a lot of people, they'll have stacks of money on the screen, how to make $10,000 a month. And it's just stacks of AI generated money. Like things like these, you look like a scammer. And that is what you want to avoid. So your trust system, your thumbnail and title are the first bit of trust system. They're not just decoration for the video. And first impression is a real thing. The first thing they see from you is how they're going to associate you. So you want to have authority signals that communicate credibility in under 1 second. It needs to be instant. And your channel page needs to reinforce trust. So the way you can do this is by having like case studies on a specific playlist that you have on your homepage on your channel. This works really well. So before anything, as I said, you must earn that click. Then with the title, once you have a decent thumbnail, your title needs to create that curiosity gap. So the viewer must feel like they need to complete the story to click. So never repeat what's in the thumbnail and the title, but what we can do is kind of have them go like this. And now the viewer feels like they have to, click and actually check out what the video is about. Another thing here I just wanted to touch on is that inconsistency kills trust. So if all your thumbnails look different all of the time, your videos are edited different, your branding is something that, viewers will always never overlook. So make sure that you're actually, sticking on brand, and that's going to allow people to actually associate certain things with you. If that means types of videos, sticking to a certain niche and not creating random stuff, all of this matters. Decision 2, is this content actually for me? And this decision happens in the first 15 seconds of the video. Even after clicking, viewers are still deciding if they belong here. So what you don't want to do is speak to everyone and convert no one, because most channels fail because their messaging is too broad. Different viewers require fundamentally different content types. So if the content is misaligned, viewers leave immediately despite having clicked. And obviously this is custom based on your niche, what your offer is, etc., how much your ticket price is, who are we trying to speak to. But you really need to have a clear understanding of that. And when you write out your hooks, once again, talking about that aligned messaging between the title and the hook, this all needs to be there. And you need to know exactly who you're trying to talk to. And the different types of content. So beginners, if you're targeting beginners in certain subject matters, they need foundational education and simple frameworks. If you're targeting advanced operators, they need education depth and real case studies. If you're targeting buyers, they need proof and outcomes and a clear next step. You really need to know what type of video is targeting what type of person. And this goes into knowing what type of content you're actually creating. Are you creating a top of funnel video that's going to speak to the majority? That's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing that. We do that as a strategy. You want videos that are a bit more broad at the top of the funnel. Are you creating a bottom of funnel video that's more specific? Is it something that you're trying to get conversions from? Are you trying to speak to the people who are already aware of what you sell? They already trust you. They just need to be pushed over the line. Knowing this and knowing what type of person you want to speak to in that specific video is going to help a lot. And as we said, a lot of this applies to the first 15 seconds of the video. How are we qualifying viewers? Who are we speaking to in that hook? So decision 3, take action now or come back later. So the viewer is interested but not yet committed. Most people save the video and never return, and that is lost revenue disguised as intent. So the problem here is that most people are not just going to book a call in or go apply from a YouTube video. You need to really push them a bit, right? So most people, they have their call to action just at the end of the video when most people are already gone. This is very stupid. You need to have a call to action placed throughout the video. So instead, what you need to have is a strategic CTA that's placed in the video before people actually click off. Typically, this can be around the 20 to 30% mark of the video when most people are still engaged, they're at peak attention, and this is where you grab them, right? And what you also need to be doing when you frame these call to actions is increase the perceived opportunity cost if they do nothing. And that obviously is going to make people act a lot faster, right? So strong funnels don't wait for the viewer to decide, they engineer the decision. And that comes down to thinking, what can I say in this call to action that's going to make someone click right now, instead of just thinking they can do it whenever, saving the video and never taking action. Decision 4, was this worth my time? So after watching a video, a viewer is going to evaluate their experience emotionally. This moment determines whether trust grows or collapses instantly. So if your content was actually good and you can't skip this, AI can't do this for you, you need to actually just have good content. And if you went in depth and actually showed them some real value, trust increases. The viewer feels the investment was worth it. If the content is shallow, there's nothing actually, teaching them anything of value, and all you did was just wrote some AI fluff and chucked it into a teleprompter, the viewer's going to know they're not going to watch more of your content. It's pretty straightforward. So trust decreases permanently and they're not going to come back. So the best high performing channels, what they do is they compress years of insights into one video. And this is why a winning format that trended for quite a while was X years of advice in Y minutes. And what someone would do is they'd come on, if there's someone who's had 5, 10, 15 years of experience in a certain subject matter, and they took those best lessons and tried to condense them, that's super valuable for someone to spend 15 minutes watching that video. This is the type of thinking you need to have when you're coming up with a video idea. And this is a great way you can actually do better than your competitors. If they have a 2-hour long video that's just all fluff, you know that you can literally just summarize and remove all that fluff and create a 15-minute version that's way better and way more valuable. This is why you need to always be analyzing your competitors. So the main thing that we're trying to create by having content is creating this thing of psychological debt. If their free content is so good, the paid offer must be exceptional. This is the type of feeling we're trying to get to people by creating YouTube videos. A lot of people are scared, hey, if I give away everything for free on YouTube, what's going to make someone even buy from me? And look, there are always going to be a certain amount of people on the market who are active buyers. They are actively purchasing. They have done 10 different coaching programs. They bought done for you services. That's a small percentage of the market, but these are the people who are going to buy for you. Those people who just surf YouTube and never buy, we're never going to be a buyer anyway. So you don't even need to worry about them. So if you can just create this feeling amongst the people who are actually going to buy in the first place, that's when you know you've done the right job. And this is how trust compounds over time across multiple videos, turning the channel into something that actually gets you clients. And decision 5. So this is the final stage of the decision-making process. And this is, should I go deeper and should I reach out? So at this stage, the viewer already trusts you, they understand your value, and they are now deciding whether they are going to actually, work with you. So what you need here is bottom of funnel content. The middle of funnel content has built the trust. Now we need to get them across the line. And how do you do this? You show results. You show case studies. You show VSLs, aka YouTube video sales letters. You show buying content. This is the type of content that's meant to get conversions because you're targeting people who are not at the top of the funnel. They already know that you are someone who's worth working with. They just need to actually do it, right? So the type of content you can do here is evergreen videos that rank. As I said, videos like how to do whatever it is, free course, and you SEO optimize that. It's going to bring in people who are actually having higher intent because they're searching that up. And look, as I said, with these free course videos, free guides, value is given, implementation drives the core. They're always going to want help. They're always going to want, even with coaching, they're going to want someone holding their hand and showing them how to actually do it. And when you do all of these things and combine all of these types of content, meaning the top of funnel awareness content, the bottom of funnel conversion content, conversions become inevitable. So every video is part of a larger system that turns attention into booked calls. And the best channels don't just chase clients and hope for the best. They build a system where people arrive already convinced and pre-sold. And that's what we're aiming to do here. So those are the 5 buying decisions that determine whether your YouTube channel is a client acquisition machine or just a content hobby. Now, I covered the framework in this video, but what I didn't show you is the exact step-by-step system we use to actually build out each of these 5 stages. The scripting frameworks, the SEO strategies, the thumbnail formulas, and the tracking system that ties it all together. That's exactly what I break down in this next video that's on the screen here. So you click that and I'll show you the full blueprint in that video. And if you already know you want help building this and you'd rather just have my team do it all for you, then click the first link in the description to apply. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.